Hey, Emily.
Hi, Jackie. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Ready for Christmas?
Yeah. Yep.
I am too. I,
Yeah.
have, I haven't decorated. I haven't done anything, but I'm ready
Mm.
for Christmas.
Are you close enough to family or people that you can feel comfortable seeing over holidays?
Yeah, I'll be probably just my mom. I don't know. I don't know what my sister's gonna do with the kids. But yeah, we didn't spend Thanksgiving with them because um like my mom's got a few underlying conditions and my sister is going to the gym. So my mom was a little freaked out.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hello everyone.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Jackie. Hi, Emily.
Hello.
I got your email about the CDCon planning kickoff, and I will try to make it. And I will send you an email if I cannot make ahead of time. If I cannot make it, as the email said, I guess so that it.
Yeah, that works because I figured we'd probably, like, depending on the committee's availability, that's probably going to change.
Okay.
I just thought I'll just put something on the books to just kick it off.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
Excited. I'm glad we have so many learnings on virtual events. So, oh, thank you, Alyssa.
Trying to help out.
Yeah, I should look at this press release. Well, we'll look at it during the meeting, so I'll save the excitement for that.
Yeah, if folks have additional, oops, come on, did I not do that? I posting the wrong thing. If folks have additional stuff for the agenda, I've gotten and entered a few things.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't have anything else to add because I figured we had kind of a lot of stuff today. So
yeah, and I think the biggest one, I think top priority is the personas conversation.
Yeah, since it's a live conversation. And it's also going to depend though on who shows up at the meeting, because this is one that like,
yeah,
if we can get some of the people who sometimes come, like Perlin and other folks from like folks from JFrog and stuff, that would be really great. But I may need to like email them and be like, hey, we're doing something special. So
yeah,
if it doesn't work out for today, well, and when's our next meeting? Do we have another meeting before the?
Oh, actually, that's something that we should also put in the
on
the calendar, is if we want to have a meeting on the 22nd.
Yeah, I will add that to the agenda. Decision on next meeting.
Because I know the TOC canceled theirs. So
yeah, I mean I think my opinion, just off the cuff, I would say like let's cancel it and plan on meeting on the 5th.
I'm a +1 on
plus
that
one to that.
Yep.
Okay, well, we have 2 votes already then. So
easy.
2 votes for the latter so far.
Okay.
I can share my screen, but I didn't know if other folks were gonna like quickly have screen shares. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Hi, Tracy.
Yeah, you can share your screen. No worries.
Hello.
And Tracy, we were saying for the personas conversation, if we don't get the turnout for this meeting that we're hoping, then I may need to email people and let them know that we have something special that we want their input on, and then like expect people to come on January 5th and give us. Do you think that would be a challenge for anything that you're trying to do with this year? Or would having people's feedback by the 5th of January be like acceptable?
Yeah, I think just progressing it
okay,
just continuously is good.
Okay, cool. Very excited about this press release. So, oh, hi, Tracy.
Hi.
Put some more names on there.
Yeah, we're excited about Artilius. I just was checking on our press release what happened. And apparently there was a broken link and they held it up, so I had to get that fixed. It's like, where is it? I know I put it out there.
Yeah. I gotta look at it. I haven't even really read it yet. Let's see. Well, first I can put your Deploy Hub here. How are things going at Deploy Hub?
Good. Busy.
Good. That's a good thing.
This is a big lift. It's going to make it busier, but it'll shift, right?
Yeah.
The whole the community's been pretty excited about this, so they've been, really pulling together to see it happen.
Nice. Welcome, Melissa.
Hey, sorry I haven't been to one of these in a while. Things have been crazy at Puppet and busy.
Yeah, well, things have been crazy, right, because Comply was released, but I'm not sure if you have to do anything on that because I know you're very relay oriented. How's it
I am
going?
very relay oriented. Well, we are doing some things with that because well we have the PE and relay integration. So as far as like as far as like observability stuff is concerned, we want to also do like GitOps using relay and Comply. So there's an integration right now that they're working on.
That's interesting. I want to read about the PE and relay integration. Is there anything on the internet about that yet, or is it just internal so far?
No, we had a whole big, we had a whole big campaign just now.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I've just been unplugged, so that doesn't mean that your campaign is not effective. It's me.
It's fine. Honestly, I don't have like an ego about it or anything. It's fine. This was around like Puppet ties. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to stick a link in the chat or something, I can put it in the doc because I would love to read it. And I'm looking at, I think we can go ahead and get started. We don't want to wait much longer. So the news that we were also talking about, Melissa, is that we've had a new project that was added to the CDF as an incubating project, right?
Nice.
And so let's take a look at this press release here. Most people on the call have probably seen this, so we don't have to talk about it at great length, but let's see. So Atelius is an open source microservices management platform that simplifies the organization sharing and release of microservices and other reusable components. So Tracy Reagan, just to be clear, like is this part of, are you using this product as part of your solution, or using this tool as part of your solution, or is it?
It is core to Deploy Hub. It's the Deploy Hub mapping and versioning part.
Yeah.
It's the catalog and the versioning and the backend engine to do all of that.
Nice. So, and that's been the case for a while. So you've already been like kind of working with this community, and then now they're officially part of the CDF.
Working on this. 4 years.
4 years. Wow. Wow.
4 years we've been working on this.
Yeah. Cool. Well, really excited about it, and I missed the TOC announcement, but I'm very happy to see this, and I have some homework to do about it. I think simplifies the implementation.
We're going to start working. I've reached out to Isaac. There's something that I know that there are like features that we need to work with Spinnaker. I think there's something called application sets, what we like to call component sets, that need to get resolved. I'm trying to bring Isaac in with potentially somebody from the Argo CD as well.
Yeah.
Try to standardize on what that is going to be. So I think it'll be an interesting experience, and doing the automated configuration management around all these CD tools.
Yeah, it's super exciting, and I love how like everything old is new again, right? It's so important for us to have this like cyclical rising of all these different like kind of concepts that we keep stringing together in new ways with new technologies. So it's great to see like configuration.
Well, I hope what it does in terms of an outreach, I hope what it does is it shifts the attention from the projects of being, we have, not that all of the projects are alike, but for example, Jenkins and Screwdriver are pretty close, and Tecton and Spinnaker are pretty close. So we're not that, and hopefully we'll have some other projects that will want to come in that are around potentially open source security scanning or testing tools or other other parts of the CD pipeline that we should be able to, build out in open source projects.
Exciting that this enables us to build out other. So I don't know if you want, I don't know what communication you've already had with Isaac, and no, that's fine, but
I'm
working
having,
with,
yeah, he's hard to get a hold of, but I am, if there's somebody that
well,
Isaac,
I can help. So I'm kind of changing my role at Armory from being the Spinnaker community manager, and I'll be working quite a lot on like our some new product stuff that we're working on, some more R&D stuff, and working with Isaac on that. And that's part of what the Argo story is about. And I was thinking, we met last week with, what's his name? Joe, I think his name is Joe. Oh no, Ed Lee, right, from the Argo team. And we had a really great conversation with him. So maybe I could try to schedule like something with the four of us and we could talk. I can probably help you pin Isaac down if you need help.
okay.
So
I'll reach out to you.
just, yeah.
I will.
And I'll just add for those who missed the talk meeting today, because Tara Hernandez was definitely getting excited and getting ahead to imagining like a shareable microservices marketplace that could be owned at CDF and kind of just drive that, which would be very, very exciting.
And I didn't mention it there, but we might even be able to start that because it doesn't really have to be a microservice that we're cataloging. It could be an event. Like in the event catalog that Tecton has.
Tecton, okay. Oh, we should. Is that a conversation you started with the events working group?
No, I haven't. I've just started working with the events working group.
Cool.
So no, I haven't. I think it's an important discussion to have. That's one of my favorites. My favorites, kind of groups to talk to.
Yeah.
But I will bring that up to him, and I can bring it up to the Tecton team as well.
Yep, that sounds good.
Let's see. We had someone else join the call. Oh, is that Balaji? Hi, Balaji.
Hey guys.
You look familiar. Hi. Yeah. So that's great to have you here because we have a couple folks. Anything else on Ortelius? Any questions for Tracy or other follow-up items for us to talk about another time?
No, just ask everyone to help share the news. So share on LinkedIn or retweet. I think Jackie's put the links in. So let's just spread the word and welcome.
We had a beer and donuts party too. That as soon as I get off of this call, I'm gonna publish and I'll put it out on the CD Foundation.
Nice.
I think
already had it, or have one?
Roxanne's beat you to it. I think.
Oh, good.
I didn't put the recording. I just put a picture.
Yeah, we got some screenshots of everyone celebrating.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure and publish it and get it out there.
Nice. Well, congratulations. So exciting.
Thank you. It's been hard work, and I'm so excited that we've got it to this point. And I want to thank everybody here who's been, in my front row. It helps a lot to have friends in your front row.
Yeah. It's well, and you do the same for all of us. So it's great to be a community. And I think, like, as you say, it's exciting to see us thinking about this more as a community and less as competitors. And like, this is what it takes to do that. So yay. On that note, let's move on to talking about personas and talking about what are the personas that we all care about when we are not only just marketing our products or working with doing outreach to our open source communities, but broadly for CDF outreach, who are the personas who care about our services? So we have a draft document here of some persona profiles that we put together. And I wanted to share this, and really, I think this is mostly for, not to say that anybody else's feedback on the call isn't valuable, because everyone's feedback is valuable, but I think particularly Melissa and Balaji, I'm not sure if you've seen these personas. And actually, Alyssa, I don't know if you have worked on this either, but
no, I have not.
I definitely want to get the feedback of all of these fresh eyes on these personas and what can we do to augment them. And one of the things that we talked about is, like, these seem like really good high level, and Tracy Miranda may want to say more in a moment, but I think we've agreed that these are pretty good high-level categories or buckets, although all feedback is welcome. But a next step that we're thinking about is dividing these personas into more specific or you know, what type of application developer are you? There's different specializations, right? So talking a little bit more about that is something we'd love to do, but also just kind of want to validate the work so far. Tracy, do you have anything else what do we need from this team on this? What are you hoping for?
Yes, so this is the document Rosalind put together. We've been discussing it at the strategy calls under the governing board. And I think besides general feedback, we wanted to capture sort of the pain points for each group.
Right.
And then also start to dig into some of the categories like app dev and just capture the different variants. So as we get more sophisticated about how we think about our conferences, our websites, our programs, we always know who we're targeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said.
So yeah, folks want to go ahead and go ahead.
Yeah, give us some feedback. Your point on the pain points is yeah. So let me just go ahead and add those headings. Like,
where can I find that document?
Yeah, that's helpful. It's in if you go into the outreach meeting invite, you should be able to get to the meeting notes, and it's under the target personas for CDF Outreach. But I will also just share the link in the chat so that you have quick access.
I wonder if we can share it in the drive and then it gives access to the outreach committee.
Yeah, that is a good idea. I don't know where I need help with that.
I sent a request for access, but I'm happy to give feedback.
Okay. Let me get you help. Let me pause my screen share in case there's something weird in my email. Let's see.
And we've been doing, the Ortelius community's been doing some work on this as well. So I will, as soon as you share that, I'll add, I'll just copy onto the bottom the work we've done on the different individuals that we perceive to be users of continuous delivery.
I didn't get an access request, so let me just
oh wait, now it lets me. I requested access and now I can go into it. So
I just added everybody manually.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. Thank you. All right, cool. So let's do a quick review of like what's on here, and then that way you can see, maybe easier to see what the holes are. But we've got the application developer, and we have a description here. We also have Devops Champion, and this is like to think of more of your DevOps platforms engineer, or maybe even SRE. Then we have more of a director level persona, the delivery director, and let's see. So that person is really focusing on ROI and focusing on the big picture, as is the technology executive. We have described here. Then we have this other role that we thought of as like a solutions explorer. And some of these people are more like DevRel types, but there's a range. And I'm interested to know like if there are other, like maybe, as we said, subsets of this or other titles that are associated with this kind of behavior. As far as researching, these are the people who get hands-on with the tooling, but it's like more of a inch deep, mile wide thing than using it to like create a solution. And I think that's an important distinction from folks who are trying to solve a problem versus maybe trying to evangelize the technology, even if that is internally within their team or something. So yeah,
okay. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I guess something like, where would someone who's say a cloud engineer run in here? So like if somebody is like auditing their AWS infrastructure, or looking for underutilized instances and then wanting to get like reports, I think they might use something like similar to Tekton or similar to like other sort of cloud solutions.
Yeah,
would that fall under DevOps Champion?
Yeah, I think that person falls under DevOps Champion, but I think this bucket more than any of the others, maybe it would be incredibly useful to break this out a little bit and try to. So I just added cloud engineer to the list. And we have cloud architect on here, which is like kind of similar. But I think that even like the use case that you just mentioned, that's pretty specific, right? So like people who are focusing on cloud costs, for example, like that's very different from people who are like from an SRE or someone who's building delivery tooling.
The reason I kind of think that one maybe should be broken in half then is like, so a cloud champion could be someone who's focused entirely on like CI and CD and like all their use cases, like they might not even ever know about Tecton or touch Tecton because they're not really working in like a hybrid cloud environment. And so a lot of them would just be looking at on-premise stuff. So
wait, who's only looking at on-premise stuff? Can you rewind?
Yeah, let's rewind. So like, I mean, if I look at least from a Puppet perspective or like other like CI CD tooling perspectives, like often people are just looking at being like a Linux administrator or Windows administrator. And so they basically, their day-to-day is like basically not necessarily super involved in like cloud services or cloud infrastructure. And they're more like on-premise, meaning they're using like more like an OS that's like a virtual OS maybe, but they're not necessarily. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just meant like that might be broken out into two sections. So one would be DevOps champion, another one would just be like cloudy type of person. Because even like an SRE, I would consider them to be kind of a cloud engineer because they're all about site reliability. They're using like, they might actually be more of a Tecton target because they would be looking at, they might use Tecton with other tools, which give them like notifications of things that might have changed condition. So I think like that would almost be two different sections.
Yeah.
So if you scroll down there now, I've added a ton of, we worked on breaking this stuff apart. So we did it based on their role, the skill, their goals, their motivations, their frustrations. And they try to create personas, like we have DevOps or release engineer Jake, and we have Sam, and we have Clay. Yeah. So we did try to imagine those. So maybe we can just build on some of those roles, or maybe you guys should take a look at it and see if it makes sense or not.
Well, yeah, I think this is good though. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I'm just going to tag you here and ask you if you don't mind taking a look, because we can look at these, but we won't be able to be as thorough as you can be. So if you have time to like provide feedback on this and say if
or add anybody who are missing,
or say this doesn't look quite like, from my perspective, this is a little too specific, because I do think it's important for us to, like, when we're talking about cloud versus on-prem, it's definitely not a black and white thing, right? It's a continuum, and different organizations are managing these resources in pretty heterogeneous ways. So we don't want to be like exclusive to people who are still like doing mainframe stuff. And we also
that makes a lot of sense
that they don't understand the cloud, but some of them don't, and like that's okay. So we just kind of have to pay attention to that continuum. I think it's really important. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. So I'll have to think about that. But yeah, so another thing I was thinking of when I'm looking through this document would be like, I don't see, and I don't know if this is even a target, like I don't specifically see someone who would be considered like low code or no code. I mean, I guess that could be sprinkled into any of these.
Yeah. So, well, I guess tell me more, because I think that it depends on what the task is. So like low code, doing what, low code or no code? So is this like a delivery director who's maybe doing a low code, making a dashboard with a low code solution? Or is it someone else who is maybe not in a leadership role, but is a like low code or no code consumer who, you know what I mean?
Like consumer, I'm talking about more from a consumer perspective, because there's also the possibility that people, like at least in the case of like what we do, there are instances where folks are not going to really want to like use YAML. So there's also like folks who might be using like no YAML, but then they want to dip their foot into Knative, for example. Not that this foundation needs to like do anything with Knative, but I'm just giving an example of like a low code or no code kind of solution.
Yeah, I
And
think
then-
this
yeah.
fall in app dev for me, like
Okay.
no code and no. So we should say something to that effect.
Yeah. I'm putting that in my notes so we can use this to iterate. Awesome.
But yeah, that's a great one to bring up.
Yeah. Any thoughts on pain points or anything from you, Balaji? I don't want to, yeah. Or Alyssa also.
Yeah, I've added a few titles
Oh,
that
nice.
hopefully make sense. And yeah, I haven't looked at the pain points, but I can jot down some things.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about pain points if that's okay.
Just one quick
For app
thing,
devs, go
Rosalind.
ahead. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
For the Devops Champion, I think that maybe we might just need to rename it. Instead
so
of
too.
Devops Champion, I think the champion part was tripping me up earlier because it makes it sound like an evangelist, and these roles aren't necessarily evangelists.
Yeah.
And I wonder if by renaming it as well, we might be able to cover the additional roles that Melissa and Balaji have brought up.
And then we can break them out in a more
Yeah.
meaningful way, like the way that Tracy has done. Yeah, that makes
Yep.
sense. To encompass all roles and set the stage for meaningful subdivision. Kind of what I hear you saying. Great feedback. I think for me, the top pain point that comes to mind when I'm thinking about app devs is context switching. That's one that we think about a lot. And in these times of tool soup, context switching is a very, has a high cost and is also frustrating for app devs. What else for app devs pain points? Or we can go on to this DevOps blah category too.
So app dev, I would say, they are worried about, they want to know where their code is. I mean, did the code get to the production or not, right? I think that level of visibility or whatever you want to call it, right? Essentially,
Yeah.
they make the code change, but it may be stuck somewhere or it did actually make it to production. What happened? Did it roll back? Some sort of a visibility around their code check-in, I guess. Like Spinnaker, for example, has this thing, a pipeline that they can see, where that pipeline is in that sense, right?
Does that kind of capture it? Observability of status and processes after code check-in?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
That's a good one. Anything else for? Okay, yeah, I think that's a good pain point. Is just, well, what's the pain point? So to me, that's a solution. So what is the no code tooling solving for?
Well, they wouldn't know how to use YAML is like the thing. So the pain point is like, I
Okay.
guess I want to think about where I can put this. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to think about that a little bit more, but I
Yeah,
think a
that's
content
totally
or
fine.
program could be like an educational program or like educational content, like how-to content.
Oh, okay, yeah, and I think they definitely care about how-to content, so that's a good one to have on there. But yeah, for low code, no code, maybe we just say difficulty or lack of interest or ability in using YAML or other declarative languages.
Well, YAML in particular is like a whole sea of just confusion. So like also like within the Tecton sphere, things are very low, like not low code, sorry, but they're very like low level. So when you are using YAML, it's very low level YAML. So like the end user might end up with like various different triggers and various different events that they can do. So like the reason why a product that's built on top of Tecton is done, like they've even bothered like investing in that, is because there is like a low code and no code type user who just wants to use like a GUI. They can see the workflows, they want to basically have some interaction with it, but they don't necessarily know enough YAML to just like dive into Tecton, because Tecton is very complex.
Yeah. Is very very low level, and so and the like it's complex the way that the YAML files are linked or integrated into the service, right?
Yeah. There's that aspect of it. I mean, any open source project can be like that, but then I think it's primarily that it's really like Tecton is really low level YAML. So anything that's built on top of it is meant to or at least like built using it, is meant to like make that a little bit easier for the end user, because at the end of the day, they're not like full on experts with cloud native resources and tooling.
Gotcha. Awesome.
So Melissa, that almost sounds, actually I take back the app dev, that sounds like this is still within the ops realm, that they're just a new breed of kind of ops person who doesn't want to get into the detail, but they're still kind of setting up infrastructure.
I think for both of them, because
Yeah.
I mean, there could be an app developer who isn't like super familiar with YAML, but they're working on something like which uses cloud native resources or tooling.
Yeah.
And then you have someone who's focused entirely on, like, let's say just operations. And that's like, I feel like they have a different scope, but they have the same problem.
Sounds good.
Scopes focused on similar problems. Lots of really good notes here that will help us refine this. Thank you so much. Let's talk a little bit about pain points. If we have time check, let's see. We're at 10:30 and we have a few more things to talk about. I think we have a few more minutes since you both are great feedback givers. So keep it up. Pain points for this category that's a little nebulous right now, but I think the title should give it away. Like, this is a whole class of people who are thinking about infrastructure and the way that things are securely and reliably architected, either in the cloud or on-prem or both. So, and paying attention to empowering teams and keeping teams within the business requirements. So, any thoughts here on what are the key pain points?
I had a pain point for the app devs, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Which is more just the kind of monolith breaker. So trying to break up your monolith into microservices and figure how that all works.
Monolith breaking is hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll think about how to rephrase this thing.
Oh yeah, it doesn't need to happen now, and we can help on it too. Like, your feedback is super valuable. For this one, I was thinking of like a desire to foster self-service in consumers, like app devs, and also security too, is often frustrated. I found this a lot when talking to these folks. What else? What's painful for this persona? Biology, this is bread and butter for Spinnaker. So I know you have ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I think reduction in time, I guess, right? I mean, amount of time it takes the code to go to production. How do we reduce the time to reduce to production?
Yeah, because that helps downstream, like with configuration drift and things like that. That's like lessened when there's a faster feedback loop, right? And lots of other reasons.
And
Good.
I would say, how do I support, I guess, various applications or workload types or targets, like cloud versus on-prem, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Kind of like really,
yeah, that's a good one. So kind of just the heterogeneity, right?
Right. I think the other thing that these people sort of run into is, I mean, I'm not sure they definitely are in the mix of selecting this tooling, right, for the organization. So there's there's a open source versus other things out there. So they definitely struggle with selecting the right tooling for it. And integrations, you could talk about integrations, like, and integrate multiple things because they have other things already there. How do I integrate into many things that they already have, like Jira versus ServiceNow versus Terraform versus this and that?
Yeah, and it sounds like that causes actually difficulty when you're selecting tools. You kind of need to use a matrix to figure out how everything's going to integrate, and then it can be make the decisions.
I mean, like, they have their life that the developers have their existing tools, and if they're selecting a new tool, then it needs to fit into that existing ecosystem of things that they have. And so So a lot of these things kind of, it's very hairy in terms of selections.
So I heard almost another pain point there that I've heard from this group is like application or let's just say like folks who consume the tooling that this persona cares about are set in their ways, and they're not. It's hard to get them to switch, right? I mean, I find that that's a pain. Does everybody? Do you think that's a pain point?
Getting adoption of any new tooling is a challenge, right? And because of legacy and sunk cost and don't want to touch something that's working,
Yeah,
that kind of a thing. I mean, educating and onboarding new applications users is a big challenge for them.
yeah,
Because, just because they put something in there doesn't mean that everybody's going to adopt it, right? So
yeah. That's good. And some of these might end up getting combined, but I think it's good. Anything else to add? Alyssa, I know you're really like in touch
Well,
with this too.
Yeah, I don't have anything specific to add to this document right now. I'll have to review it after the meeting.
That's
But I think it's a great document. But I was wondering, so in addition to this, would it be worthwhile for us to do like a survey, throwing it out to the community and get their feedback?
I like that idea. Maybe once we have something a little bit, like once we, like you take a pass at it, Alyssa, and we get some more comments, maybe we can figure out how to turn that into some questions.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll have questions that come up. So maybe action item is like, as we go through this, create a list of questions for clarification that come up and that can see the survey. Some of these will already be in comments. We can aggregate those. Maybe we add a section of questions to the doc so we can use it later.
Mhm.
Good idea. All right, time check again. We're coming up to the end of the time. Pain points, can we quickly talk about pain points for these other personas? For like for the executives and the directors? What comes up? Some of them might overlap and that's okay.
I think for both of them, they're all worried about cost and time. And like there are basically anything that saves them cost, anything that saves them time. Like,
yeah,
basically saving on cost and time.
I would add business agility to that.
And are these more, I think probably both of these personas care about both of these things. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
and, the other one I would say is resources. I mean, how much resources they have to allocate for this ongoing basis.
For what? For adoption or for all of the, like,
Maintaining and, kind of, how many engineers they have to allocate, right? Do I just get a SaaS product and be done with it?
yeah.
Right? Or do I do a do it myself and then have 2 engineers allocated for the rest of their lives, right? So I mean, there's
I think like build or buy decisions.
right.
Oh, yeah. Build, buy decisions. Yeah.
And I'll throw in hiring as well somewhere in that.
Yes, and that's specifically more for the director. I think that maybe just thinking about so reducing context switching, because the director cares a lot about productivity of their teams. So I found that this kind of comes up. And maybe who cares about legacy workloads? Like, I think in a lot, like, especially we talk a lot about fintech, like in fintech, I think, is it these folks who are tasked with like, like we have all this cool new tech that yes, we need to use, but by the way, like that legacy workload that has been working and has been secure and reliable for 10 years, like you're not changing that. It's like these people kind of have to deal with the upstream impact of that.
One other thing is budgeting.
Yeah.
That they care. I mean, I think that's what seems to be everybody's their day job is.
Budgeting, yeah. And that's maybe for the executive too. Keeping legacy reports safe and available despite aging tech. Okay. Anything specific for the executive that's not already in here? Really, what do we have for the executive? I think it's
Probably pleasing the board members.
yeah. So like maybe it's more about like telling the story of digital I mean, maybe it's not digital transformation, but
yeah,
like being able to justify or like show showing progress in digital transformation, and maybe like other things that go into pleasing the board is like adhering to what's budgeted.
yeah. I mean, not only adhering to what's budgeted, but also like I feel like like a CIO or whatever or CTO will also have to like consider selling ideas probably to like a board, or selling if there is going to be something new or something different, balancing that I guess the new or different stuff with whatever the primary motivator or primary moneymaker is within the company, because they need to sell that either to their board or to the stockholders or whoever it is, depending on the company.
Yeah, this is good. I think we should wrap this up to make sure that we have time to talk about the other items on the agenda, unless, yeah. But how about let's, I would love to talk a little bit more about the Solutions Explorer, and of course, asynchronously. Oh, thanks. So I see you folks are already like kind of swarming on this doc. Keep doing that, and then we'll talk about this more at our January 5th meeting, and we'll see if we can get more folks from the our wider community to join and talk to us more about these pain points. But we'll have the document a little bit more buttoned up before that. Thank you so much for your feedback. It's awesome. Right.
And just one thing to add to that, just for 2021, I think what we're seeing from the board is, acknowledgement. We've focused a lot on the ops type role and shifting left to the app dev, but in 2021 we want to consciously target the leadership roles, so the delivery director, the C-suite, and we'll be trying to figure out how to do that through CDCon and other channels. So any ideas and thoughts, yeah, please bring those to the January 5th meeting.
Okay. That's a good thing to email out too. All right. Podcast wrap up. Jackie, I'm gonna some links here, or do you?
Yeah, it's a link to a blog that we wrote, just giving some stats of who participated in the podcast, how many downloads we've had, how many speakers, and then how many episodes we're wrapping up the year publishing. So I thought that was something really good to highlight to this community. It's an easy way to collaborate with the CDF. We had actually quite a few members participate this year. We wrapped up the year with 25 recorded episodes, and we are publishing them one each week for the remainder of the year. And then I've also highlighted our top 5 episodes. So yeah, I think this is an easy way for the community to get involved with the CDF, and it's an easy way to get your brand awareness out there as well. And if you scroll down too, I thought that was kind of like a cool little map of like where our listeners are from, for example. So yeah, so that's some more stats into who's listening to us and who's tuning in. So I thought that was another good key point for folks if you're trying to expand your audience. Yeah, take a look at that. We could definitely use your help, and it benefits both of us. The other thing too is I'm starting planning for the webinars. I'm also thinking about changing the name webinar to webcast, since I know some folks have given feedback on that. But yes, so this is also a really great member benefit. We we've updated our webinar guidelines. So I encourage folks to definitely take a look at those. Yes, so you've got the scheduling tool there. And I'm going to be reaching out to all of our members because we've created also a dedicated spot for all of our members to take advantage of those webinars. So yeah, that's an update there.
And there's some nice guidelines here so that it explains the whole process. That's really helpful. Cool.
Yeah. And then the next one, that we're working on still is the annual report. So I've included also the link to the working deck as well as the workback calendar, and that outlines all of the sections that are going into the annual report, and it highlights milestones and due dates and owners. So yeah, we're slowly working through that. The other thing I wanted to chat about really quick is, and just again, if folks are participating, if community projects are participating in GSOC 2021, please let us know so that we can also take account into how many projects per community projects are being submitted, because I think we will need to go to Google and see what we can do there to negotiate some more spots. So everybody hopefully can participate and we won't have to pick and choose. Then the other one that I wanted to highlight as well, if you're interested in participating in the planning committee for CDCon 2021, our kickoff meeting is December 14th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This probably might change depending on the planning committee's availability to meet, but I just thought I'd include the Google invite and then also the Zoom link for this first one. If you can't make it, but you still want to participate, let me know. So I can loop you into communications. And that was kind of it from my part. Tracy, anything else?
No.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, wait, actually, there's one more thing. Looking for feedback. I'll drop this in the group chat. But Roxanne and Jackie and I have been working on a updated CDF join member page and a deck. So this is not live yet. So, well, it's there, but it's not linked off the main website. But we're looking at making it more compelling as to why people should join. So it's still a work in progress, but any feedback would be appreciated. And we'll be linking in a full kind of member benefits deck at that kind of orange call to action button. But yeah, if anyone has any feedback or things aren't clear or we could make it nicer, I think we'll be looking to do a big push for new members next year and bringing that value. So yeah, this highlights it. And also to make sure existing members are taking advantage of all the things we have to offer.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great resource. I really like the icons. That's definitely eye-catching. A good way to organize the page. Okay, cool. I can give, when you get the fees right on here too, I can give some feedback. Let's see, this. Still working on text for these, for the Premier and General membership levels, or is this, it's just like, doesn't?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay.
If there's any feedback, let us know.
Yeah, a little description here would be good.
Of the tier levels.
Yeah, like maybe tell them what they're getting, and even if that links to another place on the page that tells them what they're getting, like then you're keeping them engaged on the page. Maybe. So it looks like something forgotten. Seeking feedback for new member join page. Not linked on the site, but live. They can just email their feedback.
Yes, please.
Cool. Any when do you need that feedback by?
Yeah, just as soon as possible. We'll be doing another round of work at it, and as soon as we've got the deck ready, then we'll go live with it.
So last thing that we needed to decide is when's our next meeting? Are we going to meet in that final work week of December in the US, or are we going to, I'm surprised at the podcast listenership in Europe, by the way. Sorry, random thought, but that's exciting. Maybe there's like, we should be thinking about that when it comes to scheduling for CDCon, right? Because maybe that's like a whole not untapped, but we know that they care about our content. So anyway. Next meeting, should we meet on January 5th or should we try to meet again on the 22nd? What do folks think?
I'm out on the 22nd, so.
Yeah, I'm okay to wait until the 5th.
All right.
Me too.
Let's go for the 5th, and we will try to get a good showing at the meeting so that we can get more feedback and talk about our plans for 2021 as far as how we can engage more leadership roles. And I just wanted to remind everybody one more time to share this Ortelius press release. I'm going to do that right now after this meeting. Share it on LinkedIn or Twitter. We've got some handy links here. And if you have more feedback about the personas doc, you can add it in the doc, and lots of other great resources linked here in the meeting notes. Thank you so much for coming.
And just a note, we do have a CDCon planning committee meeting on the 14th, which is next Monday.
Yes. So don't forget this meeting next Monday if you're interested in CDCon. And if you can't join, email Jackie and she can keep you in the loop so that you'll be at the next meeting, which may be at a different time.
Yeah, so you're not completely off until January 5th.
Oh, but it's not all. Actually, we have a party. Tell everyone about.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have a party too.
We have a party. we have the CDF Community Party, and it's 2020 send off because everybody hates 2020.
Oh, God.
We're done with it.
Yes, agreed.
We're done.
When
with
is it? What
2020.
is
It's December 15th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Day after our 9 a.m. CDCon planning meeting.
Okay. The day after.
Yeah.
So, and has the invite already gone out?
Yeah, it's gone out to the all of the lists. So it's probably just sitting in the inbox, but I can send you one, Ross.
Oh, I can search for it. No worries. I'll find it. I'm just gonna. All right. Thanks everybody for your time today, and looking forward to partying with you next week.
Thank you, and good job on working on those personas.
Bye.
Thank you.
Looks
Bye-bye.
great.
Bye.